day we're on replay, and all these dreams where life's made are leaving out the people that we love, so slow down.
Ooh, my hangnail's bleeding. Anyway, I just wanted to provide some context for the next couple of vlogs. They're not your typical vlogmases that we've uploaded in the past. Technically, we are a content house, but we don't film every day, and I myself am not a full-time content creator. I'm currently not able to afford a full-time videographer who can follow us day to day, but this vlog and potentially the next vlog that comes out is mostly just gonna be following me during my free time, so when I'm able to go out and do the things that I'm passionate about. All right, hello there.
Oh, hi. Hi, my name is Clove. I'm an aspiring circus performer. I'm here to train Lyra, Straps, and I think that's it today.
My name is Silent Jager, and I am 24 years old. I specialize in aerial straps and aerial pole, straps being the primary one. I've been doing that for around 7 years or so.
My name is Zachary Yan. Currently I'm bartending, but I also train hand balancing as my primary circus discipline. And so yeah, I'm here in Las Vegas Circus Center, mostly 6 days a week, training hand balancing.
What is the hardest thing about being a performer?
It's hard to find gigs. I'd say it's really hard to find work unless you have the right connections. So building those connections is something that's difficult within this art. But something else that's difficult with this line of work is that it's very hard on your body. It's a very physically demanding line of work that your body is not gonna want to continue forever, so you gotta take advantage while you're young.
It's not very forgiving either.
Exactly.
If you get injured, you could be out
You could
of
be
work.
out forever, or you could be like me, get injured and then come back a year or two later and keep kicking.
Finding work. Definitely the hardest thing is finding work. Once you get into the swing of it, it's not so bad. But especially like for people starting off, it's just a matter of building the connections, not being, am I allowed to swear? Not being an asshole, you know? So that's, for some people, that's the hardest part. I'd say the hardest part is just maintaining your body in a healthy way, keeping yourself from breaking, and knowing when to call it or when to take a step back and like fix yourself.
Well, right now I'm bartending full time, so the hardest part for me currently is trying to budget 4 hours every day for circus while working 8 hours in another physical job. So let's just say I sleep a lot outside of here.
When did you know that you wanted to become a circ performer?
When I was like 14 and I was doing cheer, I discovered I wanted to be a circ performer when I realized that I really enjoyed contortion, and I got to train with this lady named Anya Shevelyuk over at a local gym here, and I just kind of fell in love with it from there and wanted to just do that forever.
When did you run away from home and join the circus?
I joined circus before I ran away from home. I started when I was 17. I trained in Reno, Nevada for about a year before I decided to move to Vegas, and that was 6 years ago. I did musical theater through high school, and a friend of mine from that invited me to a silks class, and I was like, I don't know, isn't that kind of for girls? Well, let's just say I went to a class and then decided that's what my career was going to be, except it ended up not being silks.
I grew up military, so I've kind of been all over the country and the world, moving every 2 years for most of my life. I would say I committed to training circus maybe about 6 or 7 years ago is when I started actively performing in the Midwest. I was with a group called Omaha Circus Arts. Then we did kind of the Midwest tour. Did some Kansas City, South Dakota, Iowa, that region. I moved out to Vegas. It's almost 3.5 years now. Mostly just because the community out here is so competitive and so inspiring. Mostly just trying to get better, and I had my heart set on a specific show, but unfortunately with COVID and the pandemic, got canceled.
After cheer, the steps I took to pursue my passion, I got a membership at a local gym, started taking pole classes, and then I discovered Lyra, and I just kind of took that and ran with it. And then before that, I was a self-taught contortionist.
Have you performed contortion anywhere?
No, I haven't performed contortion anywhere yet, but one day.
What's the main one that you're trying to go for right now?
Currently, I am mostly pursuing Lyra since that's my favorite, but I also really want to pursue silks and straps because those are right up there with Lyra.
What do you love about circus?
The constant challenge for me personally. I'm the kind of person that I love knowing I could spend the rest of my life working at something and still not be the best and still be so far from the end goal. So the endless progression is probably my favorite, specifically with hand balancing. But in the circus world, it's where fitness, creativity, conditioning, it all kind of meets together. And if you do it right, you have a pretty well balanced life.
I like the challenge it poses. Generally like the people, they're usually pretty dope. Just a good time, you get to travel, get paid for it, and get to do some crazy stuff.
My passion gets to become my work.
And how often do you stretch? And how long do you stretch for?
I try to stretch every day if I can, and I try to stretch for anywhere between 1 to 2 hours a day. Usually at around 5 or 6 in the morning.
What tips or advice would you give to somebody who's starting off circ?
Don't be an asshole.
Don't burn bridges.
Don't burn bridges, exactly. Well, sometimes they need to be.
I say start as a generalist first. Train everything and learn how your body works. Tumble if you can, do aerials, do balancing, do flexibility. Basically, don't be in a hurry to specialize too quickly, especially if you want to look into performing and making it a career. Generally a generalist is ironically much more valuable to the profession until you get to a specialized point where you're world-class level. Find a way to do a little bit of everything and then kind of pick one or two and then start to specialize.
Generally connections are everything in this and most industries, to be honest. Knowing the right people, being friends with the right people, being sociable, and not to say you have to be overly friendly or friends with everybody, but be polite, be professional, and do a good job. Learn what you do, don't copy other people, take inspiration, give credit, and don't be an asshole.
Try to make it a balanced pursuit. A lot of people try to get into it so fast and commit so hard straight from the get-go, and they burn themselves out or they injure themselves. So depending on where you're coming from, start slowly and ramp it up. Like for me, I'm 6 days a week, 4 to 5 hours a day, but I definitely didn't get there overnight. So it took me a while to get to that capacity.
What's a cool stretch that you would recommend for people to do to get really flexible?
Frog stretch is my favorite.
What does that look like?
And then once you're here, you can eventually work on getting out to here.
Hello, I'm Marco from Rdtv. If you enjoyed this video, let us know by liking, commenting, or subscribing to our channel. Here on this channel, we aim to shed light on the realities and day-to-day of being a creative. Liking and commenting lets us know what types of videos you want to see more of. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.